I'm Brody Folk,
And I'm Ben Spence.
and this is the Pirate Podcast. Today we'll be talking to Coach Cortland Ingram. He is the head coach of cross country, and he has been the strength and conditioning coach at the high school for 7 years now. How are you doing today, Coach?
Doing really well. It's a good day.
It is a good day. It's a Thursday, and we're in here talking to Coach Ingram, so that already makes it a good day. So, Coach, can you give us a little brief outlook of how your team has formed at this point in the season? We talked earlier in the week, and you said conference is about 3 weeks away. Can you give us a base on how your formation of the team and your top runners and things like that?
So team's really coming into form right now. Beginning of the year and season, you're kind of have a pretty high training density with competitions and workouts. But now we're entering the competition portion of the season, or championship portion. So the focus to have successful workouts where the kids, more than anything, leave the workout confident. You can't do much to help a kid at this point, but you can do a lot to hurt them. So, you just want to make sure, you're doing workouts that are, appropriate and not too much volume to where you're frying them, because the races are the most important part currently. So we're just trying to prepare them for each week.
Gotcha. Okay, so Coach, so how's the competition area looking like? So you got Kearney and Smithville.
So, yeah, as far as conference goes, those are our main two competitors as far as teams go. And for us, in any kind of individual/team sport, it can be your focus can become your time or how you do individually, and not really thinking about team places. But our kids have done a great job of, the focus is the team success. So it's not really about times, it's about places and team finishes. And if you can look back and say, hey, that was the best I could do, and I laid it all out there, then you have nothing to hang your head down.
So you kind of lost a lot of senior girls last year from the girls' side. Obviously, you're going to have to replace a lot of them with a new year. It happens every year, you lose people. Cicely Mitchell has obviously stepped up and been a big contributor. Who else has kind of stepped up into the lead varsity roles now that you lost such a big senior class?
Carmen's only been able to run in one race, and she had a really good start. She was 2 seconds off her lifetime current PR, and so that was pretty cool, and I think that gained her some confidence on what she could do still towards the end of the season, which is great. And then Sloan has been our number 3 often. But what we've really seen from this younger group is just starting to mesh more. Julia Greco is she just keeps getting better and better and better, and she PR'd in a 5K in just a workout the other day. So it's 5K total volume of just changing gears and speed, and she ran her fastest 5K of her life. So it's those kids that are consistent over weeks and months and years that can really perform at a high level and help the team in cross country.
Okay, so this kind of ties into the last question, but how do you think team chemistry impacts the team?
So it's everything, So you can have people that are really negative, and that can bring a team down, or you could have kids like ours who are super positive and encouraging, but have high expectations for each other and for themselves. So with cross country, these kids want to do well. They want to see their teammates do well, and it's important to them. So the chemistry comes from within. It's about the group of kids you have, and we have phenomenal kids. So they have pretty good chemistry and work well with the boys and the girls, and even together. So it's a lot of fun to watch and coach.
Yeah, obviously the cross-country kids always have really had good chemistry. You can just tell by walking down the hallways. But that's kind of ties in. We'll go to the boys' side of cross-country. Andrew Early obviously has been one of your best runners now this is his second year, kind of stepping into one of the more lead roles, along with Jace Trimble. How did those guys impact the rest of your younger side of your team with their leadership?
So they've done a phenomenal job. There's other seniors too that have also done really well, and stepped up and helped younger kids and done a great job. So, but if we're talking about those two specifically, they have kids over to their houses, on the weekends, and just really mesh, and a lot of team bonding, on their own. And that's really what you want to see from a coach, because there's no tighter bond than, that brotherhood that's formed.
Your team.
Yeah,
Yes,
and exactly. So when it comes to workouts and when it comes to competitions, they're not just running for themselves. They're running for their teammates and you usually see pretty good outcomes, performance-wise with groups like that with that chemistry. So they've done phenomenal.
Okay. So this year is your first head coaching job, right? For cross country. Yep. And your assistant coach last year.
Correct.
So how does head coaching differ from being assistant coach?
There's more paperwork and emails, things that I'm not real strong at, but I have great assistant coaches that help me out a lot with Coach Hurst and Coach Smith. So they're really good at that kind of stuff and giving me ideas on how to communicate effectively, and even taking some stuff off my plate to make it easier for me. So that's been really helpful. And Coach Stubbs gave me, he kind of prepared me a lot by giving me, a big role, and he always said, if you walked into the practice, you would know who the head coach was, whether it's him or I, and that was kind of what he wanted to kind of help me be ready. So it hasn't been too much of a transition. It's been good.
Well, that being said, my freshman year, I thought you were the head coach because you were always out there and such. Mm-hmm. So that is very true that he probably prepared you really well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. You're the head strength and conditioning coach at the high school as well. That really isn't prototypical of a cross country coach to be the head. Normally, you think of more of a football coach, intense, screaming in people's faces. How's it differ being the head? Like, what is your training style compared with cross country and then being like the head strength and conditioning coach, having to train multiple sports and multiple body types?
So yeah, that's a great question. For me, you have a lot of people that are just specialists in one things, and then they don't always have broader perspectives. So for me, I think it's been a great benefit to know the endurance side and the strength side and the speed side, and be able to coach all and see actually how they all mesh together. Because in cross country it's a lot of endurance, and people just think, just run for a long ways all the time, but we do a lot of faster up tempo stuff, and it's also from the strength side. I did play football, but I learned a lot, and even watching people in college, I worked in the weight room at Northwest with their head strength coach, and learned a lot, but also it's great to work with those different groups because you can see where some people struggle. And it's about movement. How well can a kid move, and how well can they coordinate? And, coordination training is strength training, so in thinking about the nervous system and, how it's being synced up, and, how kids can line up those movements and those sequences to where they can flow and be effective and really just stay injury free. Or mitigate, their injuries in the best manner, because that's where you're going to see the most benefit for these kids.
Yeah, keeping people on the field is always the most important thing, obviously. Well, we're going to get down to our final four. Obviously, you guys know that's four quick, simple questions we're going to ask before we let you go here. So what's your favorite lift as a strength and conditioning coach?
Currently, right now, it's snatch.
Snatch?
Yep.
Snatch.
Yep.
I'm not one of the prototypical bench, squat, clean snatches. Coach Ingram's favorite lift right now.
What was your best event in track?
Pole vault.
Pole vault was? What other events did you run well?
I did the 100, 110 hurdles, 400, 1500, high jump, long jump, pole vault, shot, disc, and javelin. So I did a decathlon.
Oh wow, that's
10
a
events.
lot.
Yep.
What was your favorite track memory while you were at college?
It's hard to say because there's so many good memories, but I think actually one of my favorite ones is when my very last decathlon, my senior year, I had a back injury, and I wasn't really trained or prepared in the way that I had hoped to be at that point, and I ended up taking like 5th place, but it was really close to 2nd place. It was only like 50 points away. It was like tight, but the guy that won it was a good friend of mine. He's actually the head coach at Park Hill South for their cross country and boys track teams. So it was cool to have that memory of seeing him win. Even though I didn't win, I was just really, it's like a cool moment that I always remember. We were in Hays, Kansas.
Hays, that's way
Fort
out
Hays
there.
State.
Almost by Colorado.
Yep.
There's an Arby's in Hays, Kansas. We always stop out the way.
Oh yeah, I always stop out there too.
All right. How many times a week do you work out?
It varies as you get old to be like at my age. So
he says he's old, but just let the record be known, he's still in very, very good physical shape.
You have to listen to your body. So if I need a little more sleep, the biggest thing for me, I was so used to training one way, and I would overdo it and get a lot of injuries. So for me, I just try to be balanced in the sense of, if I want to go run 6 miles, I can run 6 miles, but I'm not going to run 6 miles every single day. If I want to go and be bouncy and do some plyos with kids, I can do that. And if I want to go lift, I can be lift. I can be kind of strong, but not super strong, because so I like to just be as mobile and as fit as possible, but in different fields. So.
Well, thank you for coming on, talking to us, Coach. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and thank you for your time.
You guys did awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Thank
you.